new electronic music show, Elevator.
Plus, my interview with film composer Steve Jablonski, the man behind the music in the surefire blockbuster Transformers: Age of Extinction.
But first, Omar goes deep in our recurring series, State of Music.
Kimmy? And when Run DMC wrote My Adidas back in '86, they crystallized a major moment in the culture where rap artists were seen as the ultimate connoisseur of sneakers. And ever since, major brands including Adidas, Nike, Converse, and Reebok started courting artists like Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Pharrell, A$AP Rocky, and Kanye to help design collections and big up their brands. On this latest installment of State of Music, we examine the evolution and intersection of sneaker and music culture and ask the question, do these sneaker brand collaborations have a real impact or are they just hype? Joining me in studio to discuss, a rapper and self-described sneakerhead, Trinidad James. What's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thanks for being here, man. We have Shanti Das, too, music industry insider. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
And we have Chris Smokes right here. He runs a private stock gallery which obtains exclusive goods for celebrities. That's right. Cool. And also we have someone on Skype, too. Haytham, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
It's coming in from Jersey City. It's Haytham El Ghali. He's the creative director and curator for Sneaker Room, one of the top sneaker stores in the country. So it's a great panel with some great perspectives. Trinidad, I want to come to you first. What do you think the role that artists played in taking sneakers from being a sort of casual thing to becoming some high fashion?
I mean, it's according to at what level you catch the artist wearing the shoe at. Like, if a lot of these days, you see a lot of artists getting shoes early. So just in general, for any doubt that is in anybody's mind, like when you see an artist wearing that sneaker, and it doesn't even have to be your favorite artist, it could just be like, wow, that's the sneaker I need to get. Because just in general, it's like you see an artist wears it and you see like everybody just like jumps behind, like, oh man, so much hype behind. Like, people kind of like buy shoes off hype. Right. A lot, and nobody causes bigger hype than rap artists.
That makes a lot of sense. Haytham, I want to come to you on this one. When a brand releases one of these exclusive artist-created collections, how much anticipation do you see among collectors? Do people still wait in line to get pairs?
Absolutely, man. Just because I think it's the allocations that brands set for these shoes. It's not much the artist, because nowadays, you know, the internet really separates all that. And there's people that they call celebrities, you know what I'm saying, that just collect sneakers. Nowadays, it's just all these kids have money to spend on sneakers. It just depends on who has what, where it's going now, you know what I mean? Depending all on sales. I mean, celebrities help only to a certain extent. Hype has everything to do with it, and that's the main vehicle that brands are seeing right now for their product.
That makes a lot of sense. Chris, you work with a lot of celebrities when they're looking at these sneakers, too. Do you see that same kind of anticipation?
Absolutely, absolutely, all the time. I mean, it's a very common thing.
That's cool. So let's talk a little bit about this little spread you brought here. We got a little show and tell action going.
These are the Justin Timberlakes. They're called Legends of the Summer. You won't see many people with these. The inside's a suit and tie.
Yeah, that's the best part. It says suit and tie on the inside. I don't know if we got a camera on that, but I'm just going to stick it out.
They're really, really rare. I mean, these are just easy ones, classics. I mean, you know, he came out with the twos, and he has 3 colors in each. I mean, you know, the reds are the most hyped up thing now, but it's just LeBron's. Nelly did a collab. It was like a Honey Nut Cheerios. Must Be the Honey. LeBron 9. I think it was only rappers got these, but it was really, really hyped up just because, I mean, look at the shoe.
Yeah, no, I know. And when you talk about only rappers getting them, I mean, that creates a huge aftermarket for these shoes, right?
Absolutely, every time. I mean, if you got them, you get the hat and the shirt that goes with it, and that's just like, oh wow, like no other shoes just come with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Totally. It's special.
And I think the resale is crazy. I mean, you're talking about sneakers that you pay $250 for, and you can double and triple it. It's almost like flipping houses, you know? Like, it's the whole new subculture out there reselling sneakers.
And I know Haytham's got some words in this too, man. What's up with the aftermarket of these shoes after they get snapped up?
That's what you're seeing right now. That's driving the whole market, right? It's these 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds having the money and accessibility to actually sleep outside for 3 days, camp outside for a pair of sneakers, and flip them for 3 times the amount. I mean, when we were younger, we only had 2 pairs of sneakers a year. We got an all-white one in the summertime and an all-black one in the wintertime, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't mess them up. And there you have it. And just even speaking on hype, I know Chris mentioned, you know, the Honey Nut Cheerios LeBron. I actually met the designer for that. That sneaker is actually a Nike ID, so it's not an authentic Nike collaboration, which is crazy. So you saw there firsthand. Someone created something from scratch, from Nike ID, which any of us can do, and really package it the right way, create some products, and release it to the public, you know, off of that marketing strategy and that Nike really made up, you know, in the past. So,
yeah.
You know, that shows you everything right there. Hype is the major market. It's not even about the celebrity. It's just how can you market this and limit the allocation of the shoe, and everybody's going to go crazy.
No, that's absolutely true, and the sneaker culture is really making a lot of headlines. Most recently, I think one of the biggest headlines we've seen is when Kanye left Nike and went to Adidas. And Shanti, I was wondering what you thought about, how big was that for Adidas?
I think it was like when LeBron took his talents to South Beach. Everybody's like, oh my God, he left Nike. And, you know, if you look at what Kanye was able to do with the Air Yeezys and, you know, the hype behind that and the sales, I mean, it was really crazy. And more importantly for Kanye, it was a different type of deal.
Yeah.
When you look at artists and musicians and they get their traditional recording deals, there's royalties there.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kanye was saying how, you know, he wasn't really getting royalties from Nike, so I think it was a good move on his part, you know,
Sure.
from a business perspective. And then all the hype that's going to come with it for Adidas. And, you know, they just signed a deal with Pharrell, so I think in a year or two you'll see a lot of hype coming from Adidas.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about that, Hayden?
I think as of right now, Nike is king, and in my opinion, I think Nike will always be king just because that's what we were raised on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Adidas has a great roster right now, as we saw with, you know, the Tiana Taylor sneaker, with the 2 Chainz, with the Big Sean, you know, and you got so on coming forth. We just had to see what Nike really, what Kanye produces through Adidas, and see how that happens, because Kanye is a strong vehicle just to even market anything that you have. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So.
Yeah,
you got to see what he brings to the table.
Oh, yeah, Shanti, go ahead.
Just quickly, from a marketing perspective, I still think Nike will be at the forefront because what they do on Saturday is just so cool. You know, selling their sneakers on the weekend. They have that Twitter campaign.
Exactly, yeah.
And the Twitter campaign that they have, you know, so from a marketing standpoint, Nike is still doing their thing, but we'll see what happens.
Well, Trinidad, I want to ask you a question, man. Do you think that these partners, from an artist perspective, these partnerships between artists and the sneaker companies, do you think that they have a real impact on either goodwill or even sales or popularity for the brands themselves?
I mean, definitely, man. As far as, you got to think about it, that you have only a certain amount of people in life that want to lead, and majority of everybody else want to follow. So when you find somebody who's actually a real leader, whether it's from sports, artists, and something that you see like a mass of people that look up to this person, then anything that person wears, that kind of inclines that person. It doesn't make a person go get it, but to a certain extent, it influences for the person, like, man, what do I want to wear? What do I want to look like?
Totally.
Who do I want to be?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have time to focus on myself. I'm just going to be like this artist right here. I'm going to dress like that. That looks good. Or if LeBron wears it, I'm going to wear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. It's so many different markets. Like Hayden was saying, and like everybody else was saying, is you got kids with money to buy shoes. You got adults with money to buy shoes. An adult and a kid doesn't buy sneakers for the same reasons.
Right.
You know, so just in general, you got a kid, he's really looking up to an athlete or an artist to see, like, okay, this is the way I need to look if I want to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's the type of way, that's what I like about it. You know, and also just to piggyback off of, to go back to the Kanye situation, I'm happy that he went somewhere else because it's like, it's about being creative.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, the Yeezys is, you're not beating the Yeezys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, for him, it's a challenge.
Right.
Because, like, I already done that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I did that, so I'm on to something else. And I mean, I just like to see people maximize their potential of being creative.
Right.
And that's really dope.
No, it's really great to see that. We have enough time for a really quick round robin. I'm going to start with you, Haytham. I want to get a sense of your prized possession. You guys, I know you all have amazing sneaker collections. Haytham, I know you got to think, man, but give it to me. Reflex. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I would say a pair, I guess, Freddy Krueger SBs when I was a little younger. Just for the simple fact it was just so hard to get them, and I have a really long story on how I got them. I'm not going to go into depth about that, but my car got towed. I mean, I got almost fired from my job. You know what I mean?
So it's emotional.
And and I ended up reselling them. So it's like, and then Nike never even released them to the public. You know what I'm saying? So so it's crazy. So, and then I ended up re-getting them. So it's like, there's like a whole flip-flop of events.
Well, that's the power that sneakers have in people's lives, man. That's a special story. Trinidad, how about you, man? What's your
I mean, man, for me personally, man, I'm going to just say my entire collection, because each shoe has a story that is either just makes my whole life. It molds my whole life. Sneakers is something that has got me to so many places and got me in so much trouble. It's just a part of my life. So my whole collection is just I love it.
It's
Every shoe.
It's a whole life story.
Yeah, every shoe that I have is a shoe that actually came into my life just creatively.
I get it.
Organically, really.
Beautiful. Shanti, how about you?
For me, as a hip-hop professional, I got to go with the original, Adidas original. You know, the shell toe, what can you say about it? I mean, it's classic. When Jam Master Jay passed away, actually, I worked with those guys and did some marketing with them, and they sent me a classic pair with JMJ on the side. So, I mean, I'll never part with those.
That's special.
Absolutely.
Very special. Chris, man, I know you got a couple right here, but I'm guessing it's not one of these.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with just the OG. It's a 3, but it's just the OG Cement 3.
Right.
Nike on the back. Can't go wrong. As a kid, every time I saved up a little cash, I'd want a fresh pair, and it'd be hard to get, first off.
Yeah.
Jordans back then were way cheaper retail than they are now. But
Right.
it still was one of those things growing up that I just loved. That was my sneaker of choice. And I still get them. I still wear that shoe to this day.
Well,
Which is crazy to me. But.
I mean, these are great stories and such great perspectives. Chris, Shanti, Trinidad, and Hatham, thank you guys so much for being part of State of Music and talking about sneakers with us. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you so much, Amrit. Now, if you need more proof that it's Beyonce's world and we're all just living in it, according to IMDb, Bey will star alongside Will Smith in Hancock 2, replacing Charlize Theron as the leading lady.
Yes, Queen Bee will play the role of Carly Kicker. Now, here's a name for you, Carly Kicker. If the report is true, Hancock 2 will mark the first time she's appeared on the big screen since 2009 film Obsessed. And she also voiced the role in last year's animated film Epic.
Look out for Beyonce to hit the small screen on June 29th with the first of 10 5-minute installments of Beyonce X10 airs before True Blood on HBO.
Now, don't move. It's one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer, and I sit down with the unsung hero of the music behind the latest Transformers flick.
And electronic music is taking the industry by storm, and now it's ripping further into revolt. Later, we'll tell you how in a brand new series on our network.
With film composer Steve Jablonsky, the man behind the music, the surefire blockbuster Transformers Age of Extinction.
Plus, our very own Hannah Rad breaks down Revolt's new electronic music show, Elevator. But first, Amrit goes deep down in our recurring series, State of Music.